Now, to open our program, I'd like to invite President and CEO from State Auto Insurance Companies, Mike LaRocco, to the stage. Please welcome Mike, everybody.
Thank you, Dan. On behalf of State Auto's independent agents, brokers, and our associates, welcome to the 2016 Chamber Annual Meeting. I'm proud to join today's meeting, knowing that State Auto has a long history of sponsoring the annual meeting since 2007. Through the annual meeting, the Chamber has connected more than 11,000 Columbus business and civic leaders over the years, including the more than 1,400 who are with us here today. State Auto invests in the Chamber because we believe in the work they do to help businesses grow and prosper. I joined State Auto last year after leaving Columbus 37 years ago after graduating from The Ohio State University. A big part of the reason I took the job to come home was to give back to the community. I've been blown away by how Columbus has changed since 1978. From the development downtown to the growth of our suburbs, how business and political leaders work together to move this region forward. The growth in the area has been truly, truly impressive. At the same time, I've spent time with many of the State Auto community partners and learned about the large portion of our community that's been left behind. 22%. Nearly 1 in 4 people in Columbus is living in poverty. That's too many people, that's unacceptable. And we need to do more for them. We need to put just as much effort into improving their lives as we put into improving our business climate. When State Auto was founded 95 years ago, Robert Pine was determined to create a new kind of insurance company, dedicated to serving the needs of the community. We still believe in creating a culture where community involvement is encouraged and supported. That's why I'm especially pleased to share an initiative that will help some of our neighbors as a direct result of today's meeting. Thanks to a partnership with the Columbus Foundation, your attendance today triggers a gift in your honor that will feed a family in need. For every meal served this morning, the foundation will make a donation to 5 food pantries serving the hungry throughout Central Ohio. These pantries have the greatest reach in the region, as well as fresh food distribution programs. You can read more about the pantries and the initiative on the Columbus Chamber's blog at columbus.org. On behalf of the Columbus Chamber, I'd like to thank Doug Kreidler and his staff for creating this opportunity. We are honored to join the Columbus Foundation to help fight hunger. From our team at State Auto Insurance, thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Mike, so much for your support and for joining us today. And thank you to the Columbus Foundation for your generous donations. Now, as you probably know, when we're recording our podcast, C-Buzz, it's my job to help local business owners and leaders tell their stories. During the last year, as we've been recording, we've come across great stories and profound insights that we really wanted to spotlight. As you entered the event this morning, we hope you noticed the art installation in the foyer. This exhibition, titled The Art of Business, is an initiative of the Columbus Chamber of Commerce in collaboration with presenting partner InnoSource and patron, the Greater Columbus Arts Council. Each artist was given a quote from a Columbus CEO. Some were taken directly from C-Buzz podcast recordings, with others being taken from our CEO Insights interview series. The Chamber, with help from the Greater Columbus Arts Council, asked local artists to create a piece of art, incorporating these words of wisdom from local CEOs who have had to make their own share of pivots in their own careers. A few of the pieces are shown on the screens, with all of the art being showcased in the programs on your table. Now, And we are proud to present the art of business and hope you find inspiration from these local business leaders and talented artists. If you did not get a chance to view the exhibition as you arrived, please do so as you depart today or visit the Columbus Chamber website. Now, as I mentioned when I first took the stage today, pivot is our theme, and the Columbus Chamber is pivoting in 2016. I would like to introduce John McEwen, Chairman of the Board. Please welcome John to our stage.
Thank you for the warm introduction, Dan. We're glad to have you here with us today and grateful for your contribution to CBuzz. And thanks again for presenting the wonderful art that was showcased. Thank you as well for joining us here this morning. We have an exciting and busy program today. In my role as board chair, it gives me great pleasure to recognize those businesses and leaders who support today's annual meeting and Small Business Leader Awards. Today's annual meeting is made possible by the support of many of our Columbus Chamber members. These members expand their support to allow the Chamber to provide services and programs to our members in the Central Ohio business community. You have heard from Mike LaRocca, President and CEO of State Auto Insurance Companies. I would like to extend a special welcome back to Mike and thank you. This is State Auto's 10th anniversary of their support for our annual meeting. In addition, they have provided support for other Chamber programs and events, and they've provided guidance and leadership to the Chamber and our members, and we are very proud to have them as a partner. Please join me in a round of applause as we recognize their contributions. Okay, First Merchants Bank returns as the presenting partner of the Small Business Leader Award. This award celebrates its 31st year honoring outstanding small business leaders. The award will be presented during this morning's program. We are fortunate to have signature partners who support the Chamber events throughout the entire year. CareWorks and CareWorks Comp, Columbia Gas of Ohio, and Medical Mutual of Ohio. Cardinal Health is joined by the Motorist Insurance Group as our annual meeting investor partners. We presented the Art of Business exhibition today with support from our presenting partner, InnoSource, and patron Greater Columbus Arts Council. To help us forward our message today and throughout the year, I would like to recognize our media partners, Dispatch Media Group and WBNS 10 TV. Other members have joined as annual meeting partners and have made today's meeting possible through their investments. They're shown on the screen and are in your printed program. The Columbus Chamber Small Business Leader Awards enjoy support from members of our Small Business Council. Their partnership and work empowers our outreach and helps us recognize leaders who help to drive the economy forward. Please help me thank our annual meeting and Small Business Leader Award partners. Okay, I also want to recognize some special guests. We have many federal, state, and local government officials here today. Thank you for being a part of today's event. Your partnership is important to us, and we're proud to be the hub for business and government connections in Columbus. We are pleased to welcome our new mayor, Andrew Ginther, to our stage today. We will hear from him later in our program. I've been proud to serve with an amazing board this year. Each year at this time, we recognize board service and welcome our new board. For 2016, we have several board members who will be leaving the board as their terms expire. I would really like to thank them for their time, talent, and service. They are listed on the event screens. Please join me in a round of applause to thank them for their leadership over the years. And of course, that means new members members will be joining the board. The board class of 2016 is impressive. We have 11 new members, and it includes a group of successful and energized leaders. I'm thrilled to have such a talented and passionate group of leaders joining our board. Please join me in recognition of these new board members. And I will be experiencing some change myself. It's time for me to pivot off as chairman of the board. I've enjoyed my service to the chamber and look forward to continuing to serve as a board member. But it's time to hand the reins over to our incoming chairman of the board. I cannot think of a more engaged, enthusiastic, and inspiring business leader to take my place. Please join me in welcoming Jeff Saab to the stage.
Introduction, John, and thank you to Columbus Chamber of Commerce for their hard work and dedication to the business community here in Columbus. As a business owner, I have my feet on the ground every single day and understand the challenges that big and small businesses face. I'm eager to lead the board, and I'm honored to accept this position. I'm equally honored to work with these outstanding leaders who make up your Columbus Chamber Board of Directors.
Congratulations, Jeff, on your appointment. I'm pleased to present you with the official Chamber Board gavel.
And in return, John, I have a gift for you. After many years of service on the board and 2 years as our board chair, the Columbus Chamber and its board of directors is proud to present you with this beautiful crystal gavel. We hope this will remind you of your time spent leading the board and helping our business community grow. John, thank you very much for your service.
Thank you, Jeff, for this lovely gift.
John, I'm also honored to help you share this next introduction with today's audience. The Columbus Chamber of Commerce Selection Committee has identified the next president and CEO of the Chamber. Many of you know him as the president and publisher of Columbus Business First for over 30 years. Some of you may recognize him as an advocate for business in Central Ohio, but we know him as somebody who understands our community, our business climate, is a big thinker, and could really help inspire all of us to lead the Columbus Chamber into the next chapter of success.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our new president and CEO of the Columbus Chamber, Don DePero.
Thank you, Jeff and John, for all of your kind words. And thank you all for joining us this morning. To say I'm thrilled about this opportunity is a clear understatement. You know, there's so much to admire about our wonderful Columbus business community. The entrepreneurial history, the openness to new ideas, the diversification, and the persistent growth and success. I recognize the Chamber is the hub for all of this, and I can't wait to take the lead on March 1st. I'm ready right now. You know, I have a lot of ideas that hopefully will benefit our members, ideas that will open doors to more businesses, more operational knowledge, more of a lot of things. In the coming months, I hope to bring these ideas forward and build on the economic vitality that I see every day and I've seen for the past 20 years. I'm confident that these goals are possible with the support and hard work of our talented staff, our incredible board of directors, and of course, you, the Central Ohio business community. I look forward to meeting and reacquainting myself with so many friends and getting to meet new friends so we can all work together on these endeavors and make Columbus the best place to do business in the United States. Thank you.
Thanks, Don, for joining us this morning and sharing a few words. We're excited to have you on board. John, before you depart the stage, I know you have one special task to complete. Very special. It's honoring this year's Columbus Award recipient. Don and I will lead you to it.
Okay, Jeff will be returning to the stage later this morning. Now it is my pleasure to complete my final duty as board chair, the presentation of the Columbus Award. This award is a legacy of leadership that began more than 50 years ago with John W. Galbraith, Robert Lazarus Sr., and Jerry Mock. A class of extraordinary people who helped shape Columbus, and today we are pleased to continue this legacy. Several of our past award recipients have joined us today, and all of our honorees represent the connections to both our past and our future. Please join me in recognizing these leaders and their contributions. Our 2016 honoree is a strong advocate of the Columbus Chamber and a champion of the Columbus community. He is actively involved in our region's success and health. He is the voice of a company with compassion and a true representation of a leader. Let's learn more about him.
Dave Blum is a husband, father, grandfather, and respected business leader. He is president and CEO of Ohio Health, a health system that serves people in 47 counties and has grown to be Central Ohio's third largest employer. During his more than 30 years at Ohio Health, the organization has evolved from individual hospitals to an integrated regional health system that comprises hospitals, health and surgery centers, physician practices, hospice and rehabilitation facilities, and home health care with more than 28,000 associates, physicians, and volunteers. Through all this growth, Dave has always made Ohio health culture a top priority, as evidenced by the organization's consistent ranking on the Fortune 100 Best Places to Work list. Those who work with Dave describe him as a man who is driven by doing what is right. He is known for his collaborative spirit and high integrity, which guide both his personal and professional decisions. Family is important to Dave, from his Ohio Health family to his family at home. Dave is always focused on engagement and inclusion. That extends to his involvement and commitment to Columbus. Dave serves on numerous boards and has provided input and counsel on some of our community's most difficult decisions. David served on the Columbus Chamber Board of Directors from 2004 to 2012, serving as the board chair in 2008 and 2009, where he played a leadership role in laying the foundation for Columbus 2020, a regional economic development structure. Serving his community is a priority for Dave, and one that he has said he finds tremendous fulfillment in, both professionally and personally. On behalf of the Columbus Chamber, we are proud to honor Dave Blum, President and CEO of Ohio Health, with the Columbus Chamber's 2016 Columbus Award.
Dave? David, you once said that you're proud of what is being accomplished here in Central Ohio. Well, now it is Central Ohio's turn to thank you for all that you have done. Everyone, please help me welcome David Blum, our 2016 Columbus Award recipient. David, you inspire all of us with your example, and you exemplify everything the Columbus Award is meant to be. In recognition of this honor, we present you with this year's Columbus Award, custom designed by Columbus artist Jonathan Capps. On behalf of everyone at the Chamber and the Columbus business community, congratulations, and thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you, John, for that very kind introduction. It's gorgeous. I have to tell you how honored and humbled I am by this recognition. Upon reviewing the list of former honorees, to be included among them is an awesome privilege. This recognition, however, needs to be shared with many others. First, my family, my wife Chris of 38 years, my daughters Rachel, Jennifer, Erica, and her fiance Matt are here. I'm blessed that all my children and their families have elected to stay in Central Ohio. I believe that says a lot about our community, that young people like them want to stay here. Secondly, I need to share this recognition with the talented and committed folks at Ohio Health that I'm privileged to work with every day. Not only are they committed to providing great health care for the communities we serve, they also play an active role in these communities, improving the civic and economic vitality of them. And thirdly, I share this with the caring, committed, engaged leaders here in Columbus. I believe that here in Columbus, we're in this period of time that's really quite special. A time when small, large businesses work together with the public sector. Our city, county, state, the business community are being led by some very capable leaders at the Chamber, the Partnership, Columbus 2020, Rev 1, BORPC, Experience Columbus, CDDC, Columbus Foundation, and many others to improve our city. That spirit of collaboration over the past several years is really quite remarkable and not found in too many communities around the nation. In fact, we're being benchmarked by others to find out what and how we're making such strides in economic development. Significant new capital investments, average income growth, improvement in the arts, the revitalization of downtown, and so forth. It's a privilege to be part of that. And quite frankly, it's a privilege to work alongside folks who put their professional and personal agendas aside to advance our collective interests. Each of us in this room have done so and have the opportunity to continue to do so. But I'll ask the question. What will we do today, tomorrow, or next year to keep our community moving forward? Because at the end of the day, I hope that we all wake up in the morning proud to live in this great community. And that pride comes from knowing that we had a hand in that journey. Thank you for this very special, thank you very much.
Again, join me in congratulating David Vaughn, the 2016 Columbus Award recipient.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Jeffrey Saw, the 2016 Board Chair of the Columbus Chamber and CEO of Privet.
That was awesome. Congratulations, Dave. This is an exciting time for me to be stepping into the role of Chairman of the Board of the Columbus Chamber. We're entering our 132nd year as an organization, and we recognize that in order to be relevant, we must walk the walk and pivot ourselves. As we move forward with new leadership, including our new CEO and Board of Directors, we are laser focused to help businesses grow and thrive. We've reviewed our services, we've identified what we do best, and what you, our members, and our business community really values us for. Through all the innovation and change we've seen over the past years, one thing we do stays true and sets us apart from all other associations. We create impactful business connections, some of which have resulted in millions of dollars of business growth that, instead of being outsourced, stay right here in our region. Those dollars have fueled economic growth, created more jobs, and ensured that our region will continue to be a more vibrant place to live and work. Yes, our chamber team offers many services, but the connections will continue to be the hallmark of what we do best, and what we've done best for well over a century. When I joined the board over 4 years ago, I was eager and excited to work with the chamber and our entire business community. As your board chair, I look forward to working more closely with the chamber staff, the board, partners, and volunteers who make up our entire organization. We have an amazing amount of intellectual capital within our organization. Our staff connects businesses, helps translate legislation, consults and provides solutions to members on their marketing plans, provides research to lend insight and direction into their business strategies. Please join me in recognition of this talented group of individuals who together make up your Columbus Chamber. And they're a good-looking group. Our next segment is one of legacy that we are very proud to continue, the recognition of the business leaders in our community. Presented by Jennifer Griffin, Regional President of First Merchants Bank and the presenting partner of the Columbus Chamber Small Business Leader Award, and Catherine Langkline, Chair of the Columbus Chamber Small Business Council and President and co-founder of Portfolio Creative. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome them to the stage.
First Merchants Bank has been an engaged chamber member and the presenting partner for the Small Business Leader Award for many years. And we're committed to building strong local businesses and believe that supporting the programs and the work that's being done by our chamber is just the right thing to do. So First Merchants is proud to join the Small Business Council in presenting the Small Business Leader Awards, and I am particularly pleased to have the new chair of the council join me today and help honor our leaders. So welcome, Catherine.
Thank you, Jennifer. As a 2011 recipient myself, the recognition of this honor gave me, helped fuel my passion even more. As chair of the Small Business Council, I love my interaction with other council members because small business is at the heart of what the chamber does. 9 out of 10 Columbus Chamber members are small businesses, and the 24-member council, as well as the chamber leadership, is committed to helping them make connections and assess resources to help their businesses succeed. The Columbus Chamber has been putting a spotlight on small business leaders with the Small Business Awards for over 30 years, and we continue today.
It's amazing. This year we received over 100 nominations for the 2016 award, and reviewing the applications is a daunting task. We want to thank the members that volunteered to do this work.
Our judges included Darla King, King Business Interiors, Patty Azilian, Clark Schaefer Hackett, Tom Dunson, First Merchants, Todd Fulton, First Merchants, Brian Hall, Overmeyer Hall and Associates. Thank you for your time and commitment to excellence in our leaders. And now it's time to meet the finalists.
As a founding member of HMB, Tom Harris takes pride in having led the company from an idea to one of Central Ohio's most successful and respected IT consulting firms. As a leader, he believes that one of the most critical components of strong leadership is to value your employees. The majority of HMB's best practices revolve around education and supporting our employees, making sure they have access to resources and equipment they need to be successful. The HMB mantra, "Our people are our products," is key to success. HMB cannot exist and thrive the way it does without empowering, growing, and taking care of our employees. As president and owner of Day Night Sign Company, Tim McCord believes that to be a great leader, you must be a believer, and he believes in what they do. Our signs represent the heart and soul of the companies that are our clients. For the owner that started a business, the sign represents freedom and opportunity. For the customer, the sign is a reminder of a positive experience. Knowing the emotional importance of what they do helps McCord lead the company towards awesome designs, well-executed fabrication, and a positive experience for each client. Leo Roberto, president and owner of Fiesel, believes in 4 leadership qualities that have led to the success of his business. Lead by example, build a strong team, delegate responsibility, and finally, be confident. His dream to change the reputation of the roofing industry comes down to one element: treat the customer right. If my employees don't see me live this core value day in and day out, I can't expect them to live it either. Roberto has recognized he can't be all things to all parts of the business and counts on help from his team of individuals who are experts in their areas. Lastly, the confidence to make tough decisions quickly and trust those decisions allows him to stay competitive in the market and grow and diversify his business.
So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our stage Tom Harris, Tim McCord, and Ross Appledorn representing Leo Roberto this morning.
And join us in a round of applause in celebration of our finalists.
It is my honor to announce this year's Small Business Leader Award for 2016. And this year's recipient is Leo Roberto, President and owner of Fiesel. Leo was unable to join us this morning, and so accepting on his behalf the CEO of Fiesel, Ross Appledorn.
Leo said there's no way he's going to win. I should just fill in for him today. I don't come on stage or anything like that. So anyway, he did give me a few notes of some people he wanted to thank. He wanted to congratulate the other finalists, Tim and Tom. Congratulations, guys. He's very grateful for being recognized. He couldn't be here today because he's on a family vacation that's been planned for a very long time. So I'm sure you can all relate to that. So he wanted to thank the panel of judges who found him worthy of this honor, and he wanted me to accept this award on behalf of the entire Fiesel team, which I do today. And then finally, a special thank you to the Columbus Chamber for being such a great supporter of small business throughout Central Ohio.
Congratulations to Leo, and thank you very much for accepting on his behalf. We appreciate it. You and your company have joined a very long list of leaders who represent the best of the Columbus region business community, and we are pleased to salute your work and leadership on our stage today. And congratulations to you and all of our Small Business Leader Award finalists. To continue this morning's program, I'd like to welcome back to our stage the chairman of our board, Jeff Sutton.
Thanks, Jennifer and Catherine, and congratulations again to Leo and all of our award finalists. Columbus has a number of nicknames: the Art City, the Cap City, just to name two. Recently, we've been hearing a new one, the next Silicon Valley. This is largely due to the recognition we have received as we attract new tech companies, startups, and entrepreneurs to our region. Our city, however, is not just a great place to do business. We're also a great place to live, play, and raise a family, features that are just as important. From kindergarten through higher education, our city includes schools that are ranked in the top of the USA. Our region is home to over 60 universities, colleges, career and technical schools. This strong educational base provides our businesses with a diverse and talented workforce to support their growth and success. We are proud of our thriving arts community and the national recognition of some of our attractions like the Columbus Zoo, COSI, and many others. And we cannot forget the amazing sports teams that call Columbus home. There is truly something for everyone in Columbus. Combine these features with a welcoming community and an affordable place to live, it becomes the perfect formula for an economic explosion. In the past 12 months at the Columbus Chamber, we have seen an influx in startups, social entrepreneurs, and young professional business owners joining our organization. They look to us to assist them in making connections with research, marketing assistant, and government relations, which, as we shared earlier, are keys to some of the successes that we do at the Columbus Chamber. Your Columbus Chamber also collaborates and makes connections not only with other businesses, but with business associations, educational institutions, the arts, sports, and culture organizations to help businesses thrive in all areas. Columbus is truly a great place to do business.
We joined the Chamber of Commerce here in Columbus because they have the resources to help to assist you at all stages of growth, as a small business to a large corporation.
I joined the Columbus Chamber of Commerce for the connections, and it's connections for me to do business, connections for me to learn and grow my business.
The Chamber is an advocate, and so they're going to get you in the room and introduce to people that you may have not met on your own.
Nationwide has a proud history of being in Columbus, and what I'm excited about are the resources that the Chamber brings to small and mid-sized businesses.
Join the Chamber. It's after 132 years of being around. It's obviously a successful route of networking and learning about the city and meeting new people and just getting engaged.
The Chamber of Commerce is holistic for Columbus. It's not specialized by industry, it's not specialized by gender or ethnic group or any of that sort of thing. It's really for all, and so it's very inclusive.
Columbus is a great place to do business because we're growing a community where shared prosperity and opportunity for all is our top priority.
It's very collaborative, it's very encouraging, it's very inspiring.
Because it's always growing, evolving, and it's a vibrant city.
Because we've got 4 powerhouse organizations to bring in business, sustain business, and make sure the businesses are going to grow.
Because of its people.
The atmosphere, the positive growth around Columbus is like no other city in Ohio.
But I truly feel it at home in Columbus. Columbus has a diverse culture.
Because its population is really open to collaboration, so it's really helping making connections and just trying to get things done here.
Because it's smart and open.
Nothing like hearing it from the people. I know that everyone in this room believes in our great city, and our next guest is a true believer. Another reason why Columbus is a great place to do business is because of our city. By supporting economic development designed to attract new businesses to improve platforms that help current businesses grow, our local government has been a very valued partner. We are honored this morning to hear more about why he believes Columbus is a great place to work. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mayor of this great city, the Honorable Andrew Ginther.
Good morning, and what a great morning it is in the city of Columbus. Thanks for the kind introduction, Jeff, and proud to be honored to be here, the Columbus Chamber of Commerce annual meeting. Columbus has become one of the friendlier cities in all of the country for businesses of all sizes. We've worked hard to create an environment of economic prosperity and opportunity in our city. Because we've created this environment of economic prosperity, there's a point of view that if you come to Columbus, that you will have the opportunity to succeed. More minority businesses and small businesses are relocating to our city. We're creating more jobs. We have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the state and amongst the lowest unemployment rates in all of America. But we still have room to grow. Columbus and its business community need to work together and push this city towards a common vision. What is my vision for Columbus? I want to live and work in a city that is inclusive, a city that gives minority and female-owned businesses the opportunity to be successful, the opportunity to grow and prosper in our great region. But we can't do it alone. Partnership is important, and everyone needs to be vested in the vision of the city. It's just not the city by itself. We need great partners to create the business environment that promotes prosperity and progress for its businesses and its citizens. The partnership begins with the city and the business community and others working toward a common goal. Whether it is creation of jobs, quality education, or neighborhood redevelopment. Remember, we're an income tax city. That means the city of Columbus is fully and almost completely reliant upon the number and quality of jobs that exist in this city, we very much rely on our partnership for a growing, prospering economy. Job and business growth are essential to the delivery of basic city services and to provide a better future, a future worthy of our children and grandchildren. Columbus can only be successful if our business community is successful. Columbus means business. I want to thank you for allowing me to be here today and helping our city advance, our community advance towards embracing and realizing our full potential as America's Opportunity City. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me one more time in thanking Andy this morning. Okay. When I started my first business several years ago, our relationship with the Chamber of Commerce was part of our secret sauce that made us successful. And their support provided visibility in business changes that we could not see coming. As you can imagine, the word pivot can mean different things to different people. From a business perspective, it's important to be able to pivot, to be able to navigate the rapid changes that occur in the business landscape every day. It's not exactly the same thing as having a plan B. It's more like taking your plan A and turning it upside down. Our featured presenter today knows quite a bit about pivoting. Mark Kwame is the co-founder and partner of Drive Capital. Mark's fearless approach to business is inspiring. His insights on how to take calculated risk are admirable, and his enthusiasm is infectious. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mark Kwame from Drive Capital.
Wow, thank you very much. I'm really honored to be here today. I'm just celebrating my 5th year in Columbus, Ohio. A couple years ago, I became the born-again Buckeye. I spent my first 50 years in California, and many of you know this, but I was very fortunate to grow up in a great place. Among the cherry orchards and apricot orchards of the Silicon Valley, that is now known as the Silicon Valley. Actually, it's kind of funny, Apple Computer is actually built on an apricot orchard. I don't know what that means exactly, but I used to drive by those fields where they used to dry the apricots. And so when 5 years ago, I came here to Columbus. And quite frankly, I knew nothing about Columbus. I'd been here, I think, once or twice before. And when Governor Kasich asked me to come out and run economic development at the Department of Development, I truly was coming here for a short 6-month stint, just to help out a friend. And what I found here was something really, really special. It didn't take too long. Within the first couple of weeks, I found, wonderful entrepreneurs, a great, caring business community. I met folks like Alex Fisher of the Columbus Partnership. I met the folks from the Chamber of Commerce here, from the folks up in Cleveland to Cincinnati to Toledo to Youngstown to everywhere around the state. And I saw a group of people and a group of businesses that truly cared about the place they lived in and the things that they did. But I also saw a group of people that were a bit beaten down, quite frankly. This is right after we had lost 350,000 jobs. We had the recession of 2008 that really impacted everywhere. And so we saw people that wanted to be lifted up a little bit. But what was really encouraging to me, whether whoever it was in the community, people knew they could do it here. And the other thing I found was a great group of people that young entrepreneurs trying new things and risking. And what was interesting, I had this common refrain that I heard from the entrepreneurs. They said, we really want to go build it here, but people don't understand us. They don't understand the risks that we're taking. And in fact, the one thing I'd say about Silicon Valley that is different a bit about the Midwest culture is how you look at risk. I've been very fortunate to be successful in my life, but I have had many, 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 many failures. Okay? The first company I founded right out of Apple Computer, I was at Apple Computer for 4.5 years. and I was, a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed 25-year-old, and I started my first company. It grew. We had about 15, 20 people, and then 2 of my customers went bankrupt, and we had to soft land the business. That was International Solutions. Well, in the Silicon Valley, that's a badge of honor. You went out and tried something. It's a risk. And some of the things I was seeing here in the Midwest was that risk, that going for it, was a bit of a scarlet letter. It wasn't a badge of honor. Because if you don't try things, you never learn. It's kind of like I have my young daughter, Gracie Jean, here is my wife, Meg, is here. And Gracie Jean learned how to walk by falling. I used to teach skiers when I was younger. I was a ski patrolman. And people would say, yeah, I went down the hill and I didn't fall. I'd say, well, you didn't try hard enough. Talk about how many times you fell over, not how many times you didn't. So what I want to talk to you here about today a bit is how venture capital works, but how it works around risk and entrepreneurship. Venture capital is an interesting word. In French, it's capital à haut risque, okay, which means capital of high risk. Okay, when we invest in a company, I'm sitting there pounding the table with my partners. I know 50 to 60 to 70% of the time that company we're investing in may not work and may fail. Because you have to go out and try big things to have big rewards. When Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak started Apple in their garage, they had no idea this was going to happen. They just built a computer because they wanted their own computer. Turns out we all wanted computers. Okay? Same thing with whether it's Google or Yahoo or Facebook. I mean, my favorite Facebook story, Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook so he can get his girlfriend back. What a lofty goal. These things are started for the purest intentions. It just turns out that everybody wants to use those things. So in order to have venture capital, and every one of you out there, many of you out there, are venture capitalists. If you're an entrepreneur, you take your savings, your credit cards, and you go for it. One of my favorite stories is the founder of Federal Express, Fred Smith. He couldn't make payroll. How many people are worrying about payroll next week? You worry about it, okay? It's really, really hard to start a business. Fred Smith couldn't make payroll. He went to Vegas and put it on red because he only had half the payroll, and he bet everything. I don't suggest that to you entrepreneurs. Maybe the Columbus Casino would like you to do that, but I would not suggest you going down and putting it all on red. But you need to have a culture of risk. Risk is a good thing. And so, as I look at what's going on in Columbus, as the mayor so eloquently put and the chamber folks have put here, this is a fabulous place to build a business. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but the Columbus has all the key ingredients. And quite frankly, I would have not bet my career. My first 50 years were in California. I hope my next 50 years are here in Columbus, because I truly do believe this is the next land of opportunity. But we need more risk takers. We need the Tanisha Robinsons. We need folks that cover my meds. We need the Sean Lanes. We need the Alex Fromeyers, who you're going to meet here real soon. We need folks that are willing to go for it. But just as importantly, we need folks in the community, whether they're the bankers or the angels or all these other, we need folks in the community to support risk and say it's okay if you fail. So I thought I'd burn this in with an analogy. I like to race cars. This is my race truck, and my wife is very gracious to let me race. And so this is my passion. I love doing this, okay? And when you do something like this, it's like starting a business. I decided to do this 3 or 4 years ago. And many of you may have known I used to ride motocross and ride motorcycles. And there's this great expression, with age comes a cage. And so I finally got smart at 52 and started racing off-road dirt trucks versus racing motocross motorcycles. But this is an example. When you have a passion, you want to go do it. You want to go try it. You want to go figure it out, okay? So when I went to go start racing cars, I went and practiced, okay? So the first thing you do is you go out and practice, but what you have is you have nerves. And every time I get into that car, I have great nerves. And Actually, I raced the Daytona 24 4 weeks ago, the 24 Hours of Daytona, and in a prototype challenge car, and it was an amazing experience. But right before, I sent Jason Day, who's the #1 golfer of the year at the end of the year last year, a friend of mine and a Westerville resident. I sent him a text. I said, Jason, I'm kind of scared. Every time I lace up my shoes, I get scared. He texted me this, and I think this is one of the great quotes about risk. Nerves are a good thing. You should be nervous. If you're doing a business, it's hard work and you've got everything on the line. They will heighten your senses and focus. What better way to heighten your sense and focus if you can't make payroll next week? You kind of get focused, okay? Just focus on what makes you good, and that's it. So focus on what's really, really good and what you're really, really good at, and use those nerves to your advantage. I told Jason when he's done golfing, he's got to go on the inspirational speaking circuit. I mean, he literally just typed this to me in a text, which I thought was just beautiful. So anyway, when you want to go out and start a business, you first go try things, okay? So this is a test I did in Prim in my off-road dirt truck. So what I did was I found someone who really knew a lot about the business, a guy named Steve Barlow. I got into the truck and went testing to learn how these sorts of things work. And then I'd say you should do the same thing as an entrepreneur. You should talk to everyone in your community. You should talk to the bankers. You should talk to the lawyers. You should talk to all these fun folks and go out and try to go do it. But then eventually you got to go. So let's turn it up here. And you go out and try things, okay? But you've got to push the limits. Because if you don't push the limits and take the risk, you will not have the work. So this jump coming up is 200 feet. So let's just watch that. Turn it up just a second. About 900 horsepower. That's just exhilarating. So anyway, so you go out and start, you practice, you get it going, you hire a couple people, okay? But you need, whenever you take risks in businesses, things can happen, things can go wrong, okay? And so, unfortunately, things go wrong in racing as well. And so this is what happens when, things don't go the way you think. You can turn it up. Just like in business, in racing, you have harness devices that protect your neck, you have 5-point harnesses, you have steel alloy all around you, and you have a very understanding wife. She was actually at home watching this race. This was on NBC with our, how old was Magnus then? A month old. So it was a little bit disconcerting, but everything worked out okay, so I'm here. But just like businesses, you know, if you're going to take risks, things do happen. You've got to prepare yourself for those risks. That's why you need to have the capital, you need to have the advice, you need to have the people around you. Because once you do that, what you're able to do is, click, there we go. That's what it looked like afterwards, by the way. They had to cut me out of it, but anyway. Then you go out and build out, you build your next business. If the business fails, that's okay. In fact, in that case, that truck was garbage. So we had to go build a brand new truck, and you go off and do it again. So that's the key thing here, and I really do believe, and we'll talk about all the strengths of Columbus, but the one thing we need to understand is a culture of risk. And it is okay if you risk and fail. Okay, think about it. Silicon Valley. You know, most of the great entrepreneurs you've heard about have failed miserably. Okay? I mean, Steve Jobs, the vaulted Steve Jobs, does Apple Computer, starts that, does what, gets kicked out in 1984, goes to Next Computer. A dismal failure. Goes back to Apple, did okay. Okay? He had a terrible, terrible failure. Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn, a good friend of mine, his first company, failure. I mean, every single one of these folks have seen failure. Elon Musk, the guy who everyone thinks, does everything perfectly. I mean, he was that close to basically everything going away. Okay? And so you have to have this risk of failure. And risk and association with failure. Very, very important, because failure is a good thing. Because if you don't fail, you don't learn. And I really challenge all of you out there, because here in Columbus, we have one of the best places on the planet to build a company. We have amazing educational institutions, from, of course, Ohio State. But I wouldn't forget Columbus State. I wouldn't forget Columbus College of Art and Design. I wouldn't forget, Capital University. We have an amazing educational element here, and we have tens of thousands of young people coming here. Here's a little thing. So Sequoia, my former firm, Sequoia Capital, the companies where they were the first investor in represent over 20% of the NASDAQ. The average age of the person we funded in Sequoia was 23 and a half. Average. I mean, many people here, when I tell people here that we handed an 18-year-old a $7 million check, they think we're crazy. Guess what, folks? The reason why 20-somethings are the best entrepreneurs is they don't have a mortgage, they don't have a significant other, they don't have kids. They can just go solely focus into one thing and go make it happen. They can have that passion and that risk tolerance that is very, very high. It's the same thing at Drive Capital. Many of our founders are in their 20s, early, mid-20s. So what you have here in Columbus is you have access to all these kids coming in here from OSU, from obviously our families and things like that. Second thing, we have phenomenal businesses here. And so people kind of give me a little bit of grief for saying this, but we have great businesses to find employees to go to startups who are experienced people. But Columbus is a great place to start a business because you have Nationwide, because you have Cardinal, because you have Huntington Bank, because you have Ohio Health, because you have all these great companies here who have great folks that can help build the community and build new businesses. Because with thriving new businesses, you have a thriving economy. The next thing you have is you have location, location, location. The thing I did not appreciate until coming to Columbus is how far away California is. I mean, it's a long ways away from most of the United States. A one-day car drive from Columbus, you hit 60% of the GDP of the United States. Okay? 60% of the manufacturing base, 60% of the population is all right here near Columbus. The other thing that you have is you have a business community that wants to see you succeed. You have folks like Les Wexner, Steve Steinauer, David Blum. You have folks here that want to see these entrepreneurial companies grow and do things, and they are there for help. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times myself or one of my entrepreneurs have picked up a phone and they will sit down and help. We were attracting a young entrepreneur here to Columbus. I mean, Les, who's this incredible business icon, spent 45 minutes with this young lady trying to convince her to move her 3-person company to Columbus, Ohio. That doesn't happen in Silicon Valley. That just Tim Cook at Apple does not do that. John Chambers, it doesn't do that. Okay? We have that capability here. So we have this business community to do that. But the key thing also is we need to continue to work together. And I would challenge the Chamber. There's about 45,000 businesses here in Columbus. There's about 1,000 and 1,200 Chamber members. We need to unite even more. We need to have
3,000, 4,000, 5,000. I want next time this to fill the whole room, okay, the whole conference center. We need to come together as a group and tell the story. Facebook just recently did a study, and they analyzed the network of everyone on Facebook, because well over, I don't forget what it is, 1.5 billion people use Facebook. Turns out the average person is only separated by 3.5 degrees to every human being on the planet. 6 degrees was too many degrees. 3.5 degrees. So think about the 1,000 people in this room. Okay, you are on average 3.5 degrees separated to almost everyone on the planet. Tell the story of Columbus. Be proud of the story of Columbus. This is a great place to come. Everyone comes, by the way, stop complaining about the weather. I mean, the weather is fantastic. You got to change the seasons. Wasn't fall spectacular this year? We don't have fall in California. They miss all those colors, okay? They don't have a white Christmas. Imagine not sledding on, I guess this Christmas we didn't do much sledding, but anyway. This is a great place. I was in an elevator, my wife and I were down in Florida a couple years ago. I think I was doing a race, and I was in an elevator, and a woman saw on my iPhone, I have my license. It's right there next to my iPhone. And she goes, "Oh, you're from Ohio, pretty dumb place. So you're probably gonna come down before me." She was like dissing Ohio. I said, "Why are you dissing Ohio?" She was from Ohio. I go, "What are you doing? This is a marketing event. Give me your elevator pitch on Ohio." Okay? Do not apologize for anything. This is a phenomenal place. But let me tell you what I worry about. When I came here, people were a little bit scared. We lost 350,000 jobs, businesses were shutting down, and people would try new things. That's when Columbus 2020 really did grow, and what's going on here at the Chamber and the Columbus Partnership, and we did the Jobs Ohio, and all this stuff. People were willing to do new things. As the mayor just eloquently put, we've had a lot of success here. We have a low unemployment rate. We have a lot of great things going on. We cannot be complacent. We cannot be complacent. We got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Because I truly do believe I've said this about 20 times in this talk, this is the best place to build a business. But we got to keep risking. We got to keep trying new things. We got to tell everybody that this is the best place to be. Because when that happens, there's a reason why Silicon Valley and Hollywood, more importantly, is in California. Californians are shameless promotionalists. It's the greatest place on earth. Well, it isn't. High taxes, a terrible business environment, people are moving out of there like crazy. This is the best place. We just need to believe it, and we need to take it forward. So I would like to challenge you here today that hopefully, under Don's leadership and the Chamber, in 5 years, we'll have 5,000 people in this audience, 5,000 members, and we'll all be celebrating the great risks and rewards here in Columbus, Ohio. Thank you very much.